I have like an intro song or something. La la la, cause it's still the part where you can't see me. I don't know where it's live. Yeah. And then even by the time it goes live, there will be an advertisement. And then I just have said all that stuff for nothing. So I'm gonna do this for a minute. Wow, YouTube lag is real. It's so real. It's so real. Oh, you guys can see me? Oh, there it is. Oh, what's up, stream? Advertisement.
Your treatment plan should
let that play through. Can you hear it?
Strong, so you can.
There. It is muted. What is up, stream? How is everyone doing? I heard all of your faces. I've missed you so much. And yeah, ad block. Harvey, you're a turd. Don't come all up into my biz and have that ad block on. That's terrible. Hi. What's up, stream? All right. So, Robo Malambri, that is I. So, this is the prettiest background you're gonna get. This was a little last minute. If you guys can't hear it in my voice, I am sick. Today is the first day in 9 days that I feel okay. Like, I'm not healthy. I'm not 100%, but I could do stuff. I could actually think outside of, oh, woe is me. More garlic. It's been terrible. And all this time, usually when I get sick, it's like I hit it hardcore with immunity boosting things like garlic, chicken broth, and soups, honey and green teas for my throat and just this stuff. And brain fart, oregano oil, probiotics. I like double up on my probiotics. And yeah. And then usually I'm good I'll be sick for 3, maybe 4 days. But going on 9 days, guys. Oh my gosh. I started getting sick on Sunday at PAX last weekend. Ow, what is in my eye? If more bad things couldn't continue to happen, then it wouldn't be a normal day in the life of Lisa Malambri. Anyways, so can you guys hear me okay as well? The mic is like all up in your business. So this would be ideal. I guess I could put it right here. But then you've got this. Is that annoying? Are you guys mad at that? Maybe we can do that. That's a little closer. Anywho, and I have just been, you guys, it's been one thing after the next. If you haven't noticed, for those of you that are here right now, I'm going to assume that you guys are my YouTube army. You're always there. You're always watching my videos. So like last week, I wasn't able to get a Mommy Monday video up, a Wacky Wednesday video up. I was able to get a Friday vlog video up for you because I just record all week and I can just quickly edit that up, even though I almost didn't. But I was like, there's really no excuse not to do this, so I should just do it. So I did it. And then I was like, okay, I can't go 2 Mommy Mondays in a row without content. So I was like, I've got to put a video out. But I was just feeling like such crap. I could not edit. I couldn't sit. I couldn't think. I couldn't come up with any concepts or how I wanted to do a video or what I wanted to do with. I have so much content, so much baby content. I just didn't know what to do with it. I was like, what's next? What should I put out next? I just couldn't think, you guys. So then I was like, last night, okay, I'm going to try. I sat down and I just couldn't. I was flipping through all my stuff and my brain was just throbbing. And then it hit me and I was like, well, at first it's like, this sucks, but they're going to have to understand. I just can't. I would rather not have a video than to put out a video that's crap. 100%. Then I thought this morning, oh man, I could do a live vlog for you guys and we could talk something Mommy Monday topic-esque. which, as you see in the title, it says marriage after baby. And I thought I'd kill two birds with one stone because I was supposed to on Friday, as I promised. If you guys follow me on Instagram, I had said that I would give an explanation as to why things have been kind of lagging on the YouTube end and just what's been going on in my world. And I wasn't able to do that because, like I said, I was sick. And so I was only able to just edit the content I had and not able to record a vlog for you guys. Holy crap, my throat. I have my green tea right here, and it has tons of honey in it. I'm going to drink some, okay? Ready? Go. I hate it. That air hole gets clogged up, and so it's like it doesn't come out, and then all of a sudden it just gushes all over your face. Wow, that's terrible. Anyways, that tastes so good. Anyways. Yeah, so then there's the explanation. So I'm going to give the explanation now, and I figured we'd just cover it. This is a very Mommy Monday topic, marriage after baby. And to clarify, it doesn't mean getting married after baby. It means what does marriage look like once you introduce a baby into the marriage, into the family. Now, the family isn't just husband and wife anymore. It's husband, wife, and child. And it adds a whole different dynamic. And some of you may be married, some of you may be in relationships, boyfriend, girlfriend, fiance, or maybe not at all. I would assume most of you have at least been in maybe a relationship to some degree. Relationships are just exactly what that says. It doesn't necessarily mean it has to be like a lustful kind of relationship between, like lovers. It could be a family relationship. It could be friend relationship. They all pretty much have kind of the same foundations. So yeah. I guess I'll go ahead and just give you the explanation of what's been going on with me, and I'll roll into then the changes that growing your family has on your marriage. So, again, for those of you that have been following Rick and me, our lives pretty closely, via all social platforms, Twitter, Instagram, here on YouTube with my vlogs, now on Snapchat at Lisa Malambri. Go there, follow my story, even though it's kind of random right now. But hi, stream. I'll take a break to say hi. What's up to District 6? Aaron Reason, Renee, Harvey again, Emily, Murad, and then I can't scroll up anymore. But you guys are awesome. Thanks for being here and checking out the live vlog. All right, let's go. So back to those of you that have been following us closely will know that we had kind of a hiccup around Christmas time. Major shit went down. This is nothing to do with baby after marriage. Or marriage life after baby. It just kind of has to do with relationship in general as a whole. So this will be the explanation as to what's been going on with me and kind of my emotional downfall. So due to the stress of a baby now, which again, I will address and explain that side in a second, but I want to go ahead and get to the meat of this, the point, the real, raw, and honest of Lisa Malambri. And that is, the stress, right, is there. It exists. It's not always happy times, but so thankful and blessed and lucky that to have such a loving husband as Rick. So amazing. I love us. I love us. We love us. We're awesome. Just every relationship is tested for sure. So I came to find, I don't even know how to describe it because I don't want to go into too much detail of this specific incident because that is more on the personal aspect and it really has nothing to do with educating you guys on relationships, if you will. And the reason I'm sharing this is because there is definitely something to learn here. And I want you guys to go through this with me. Because there's definitely going to be some growing happening here, some learning and all that as new time Is that even what I want to say? As a new mom, Rick as a new dad, we're both new parents, and now we're both new husband, wife with a baby. Okay, so long story short, I found something of Rick that basically comes down to being, I'll call it the big lie. What's up, Mogwai? It's like, okay, so if you were following closely, you actually saw Rick's blog. Rick blogged about it. It is now down, so if you haven't seen it, you won't see it. He went very into detail, and it's just a Rick and Lisa matter that we need to discuss. I didn't want it to hurt him in any way. It was just TMI. That was just too personal to be on the internet. But it wasn't about the action for me. It wasn't about what it was, which is what a lot of relationships focus on. We want to be like, well, you did this, and then they come back with, but you did this. I did this because you did this. And this is not the way to think, folks. You have to see it as, here it is. Here's the issue that is it's forcing us to bring something to the table. But it's not this, you guys. It's not about who left the toilet seat up. It's not. It's about, where did that come from? Where is the base behavior? What's the behavior behind it? And that's what you have to address. That's what you have to find. What is the behavior behind it? Where is it coming from? And address that. How can you correct that behavior and fix it? Because it's not about, again, I'll use something as simple and dumb as the toilet seat, because there's habits in that, but then when it's like, I've asked you to do it, stop doing it over and over again, but you still do it. It's not about the toilet seat. It's about, does this person, for example, respect you enough to remember that it bothers you? So whatever it is, it bothers you. So out of their love and respect and whatnot and what have you, and yes, there definitely is some memory involved there as well. There's like a marrying of a lot of things, but it's like, if a guy doesn't care about you and your feelings that much, he's really not going to ever remember whatever you brought to the table that you're saying bothers you. And not to say that just because someone says, this bothers me, that this person has to do what you want. There's a discussion that could be had there. The person that loves you will say, why does it bother you? What can we do to compromise here? I always do this. Like, can we figure out what's good? That's a loving progression. Not just a, yeah, sure, and then, or just a, whatever, that's how I've always done it, or live with it, you can put it down. Why does it always have to be me? And that kind of attitude, it's like there's something there, there's a behavior underneath all of that. How you respond to a situation is very indicative of your heart, your motives. I'll warn you right now, I'm definitely going to get choked up. Where are my tissues? Damn it, I didn't bring them. It's okay, so I only use the toilet seat analogy because a lot of people, there's always that stereotype about the toilet seat and whatever. But Rick and I don't have that problem, so I'll just clarify. All right, so back onto my story. So again, what I found out wasn't about the lie that it entailed. It was the fact that it was a lie. A lie existed and this lie blanketed our relationship from day one. And it was like, and that to me, this is why lying hurts. It isn't because of what they lied about per se. It's like, it has to do with just, again, it just shows the love and the respect. And okay, here's the thing. When people lie, in most cases, it's a selfish act. They're trying to save their asses, right? They don't want to get in trouble. They fear reprimandment. They fear getting in trouble. They assume they're going to get in trouble. So they don't want to hear the no. They don't want to get in trouble because they don't want to be told to not do it or to change it, stop, or do otherwise because they want to keep doing it. So they figure what you don't know won't hurt you. You never told me not to, so I'm still okay. So it's kind of like So for me, the fact that this lie occurred for so long, I mean, Rick and I have been together since '08. You know, here we are 7 years later. And and he didn't want to have to change this part or this thing of him. But he knew that it was kind of a deal breaker for me. Now, I want to interject here that this is not a Rick bashing at all. I love him to pieces. We're totally in love, and this is life. This happens. This isn't a Rick and Lisa specific thing. The lie specifically is a Rick and Lisa thing, but this behavior is very common in relationships. The degree at which it happens is where you need to make your decision going forward. And I also want to clear up, this has nothing to do with like infidelity or like adultery or whatever, whichever word you want to use. Has nothing to do with other girls, other guys, or anything like that at all. It's just personal decisions that affects only us individually. So Rick's decision was a decision for himself that involved no other human beings but himself. So I'll be honest, it jacked me up in the head and in my heart, because I'm like, I pride ourselves in being honest with each other. That was, I would say, if we were to argue, if we had a number one argument throughout our relationship, it'd be about being open and honest. That it's like, and it's over silly stuff. Because for me, I'm all about getting at the behavior before it becomes a rooted one, and then it's a difficult circumstance and situation down the road. So me, it's all about nipping it in the bud. So yes, I am, for anyone that knows me too, I am that person that won't let things slide. I will bring it up. I will say something about it. And I want to address it and deal with it head on. I am not afraid of confrontation. And my confrontation is typically for the greater good. It's for progress toward the good. So some people, for example, are very passive. This is Rick. This is where Rick and I are yin and yang. I'm a very forward and blunt person. If something's bothering me, I let you know. In a loving way. I don't have to like be a bitch about it. You know, I don't have to be like, you suck, stop this. It's just like, hey, so this is kind of awkward. Whatever, that's a whole different topic. But Rick is very much the passive person, in that if something were to happen, he doesn't agree with it, he doesn't speak up, and he goes with the flow. So basically, on surface level, one might say, I'm a difficult person to get along with, and Rick is an easy person to get along with. So it's kind of pick your poison. And for me, I don't like friendships based, or relationships based on falsehood, based on falsities, based on whatever false it is that you want to add to it. I'm very much, I guess, the ugly duckling in that regard in LA, where in a culture here where it's all about fake it till you make it, right? Be something you really aren't, just so that this group thinks you're cool. Just so that maybe this group will like you enough. Maybe they've got something going down, they can get you some work. That my frankness and boldness has been to my detriment in most cases. I sleep with that. I go to bed at night with that. And it sucks. But I can at least rest easy in that I was honest and true to who I am. So we're kind of getting off the idea here. The point is then bringing this back to a relationship standpoint. It's that, where are my tissues? Okay, they're close. I'm going to go grab it, okay? Or do I just use my shirt? I'm going to stop crying. That's what's going to happen. So I have had to learn to choose when and where to be frank. I've gotten way better at that. However, people still don't like to hear the truth. They want you to stroke their ego. So I don't know why I got off on that tangent. I'm trying to reconnect back to the topic at hand. So I found out about this, and like I said, it wasn't about the action that was lied about. It was about the fact that this lie existed our entire relationship. I did not know how to wrap my head around that because it seemed so, it just came out of left field for me. I couldn't believe that this existed. I couldn't believe that I never knew and didn't catch on, and then you think, or then I thought, wow, I mean, what if I never found out? What if this never came to where I was able to find out about it? I like literally just stumbled in my lap. Like, I don't know. And it's like, it would never have come out, I'm sure. Would it have ever? How do you say, hey babe, so I lied to you all this time? Like, that's tough. If you're going to commit to a lie that long, you're probably not, or very little likelihood that you're going to admit or come clean. So that started over December, and that threw me into this whole thing of, you guys, I just wasn't here. I wasn't home. I had to get out. I had to do stuff, which impacted my productivity for my channel. So things started falling behind. We talked about it, and Rick understood that it was an absolutely terrible thing in this behavior. He feels horrible about it. Nonetheless, it happened. It's done. Like, I can't take back, and nor can Rick, that he lied to me. And to me, another spin I threw on it was, he lied to me because he knew, for a relationship standpoint, in what I was looking for in a guy, this is not something I was looking for in a guy. And it would have been probably deal breaker, or meaning it was a ultimatum. An ultimatum would have been had, and he would have had to choose one or the other, if you will. And he knew that he obviously didn't want to have to choose and have to give it up. And so he was selfish to hold it to himself. And then I was left with no choice on who I should marry. He tricked me, if you will. It wasn't like a purposeful, like, wah ha 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 ha, I'm gonna pull one over on her. So that's just a bunch of other random ass details. The point is, it really tore me up. Talked about it, knew that my wall went back up, and this is coming after several arguments, several fights since baby was born. So this is then, I guess I could go back and tie this into baby being born into a relationship. So our relationship in general was pretty awesome. And it kind of would sound funny for me to say, but almost boring, because it was just so awesome. We had a routine. Day by day it was the same thing. We loved each other so much. There was no crazy bad things. I mean, we had finally found our groove, and basically when you're sitting there thinking, when you hear about people being like, we need to move on to, there's a next step. There's got to be something more. We need to do the next step because you're stagnant. You're just in it. And you're like, there's something more than just what we're doing right now, which has become boring. And so then, yeah, a baby happened at the right time. And it was exactly what we needed in our relationship. Sounds weirdly weird to say coming after me saying about rockiness in the relationship. So not to be confused by me saying at all that having a baby is a solution to a bad relationship. Not at all. I think that is a terrible idea. It is the worst idea. If you're not 100% solid with each other, if your relationship is not rooted and grounded and awesome, don't have a baby. Having a baby is not what's going to make your relationship better. It will not fix your relationship. It will make it worse. And this is what makes me upset, is because it's like people think that that's the case, or get married and that will fix our relationship. Trust me, folks, the next step that you keep taking introduces more obstacles. And you need to be firm and strong before you reach that obstacle in order to come to your next obstacle ready and strong enough to jump over it or hurdle it or tackle it, whatever is necessary. If you're going to come up to it with the weak foundation, that obstacle will just crush you. So if marriage isn't a solution, baby isn't a solution. So as I said, Rick and I were solid. We finally found our groove. We were so in love. Everything's awesome leading up, have a baby, and it was just so amazing. It was like the best feeling, like a whole different level of love when you have a baby, when you have your own flesh and blood like right there, especially as a woman, as a female, knowing that this was just seconds ago inside of your body, that your body just made that. Crazy, okay? And then to just see that, to watch it just go from complete helplessness to doing human things. And you're like, what? I just made a me. This is crazy. Because all the while, you feel like a kid until you, I think you don't even really grow up until you have a kid, I think, because you only have to do you. You think about it, single guys that are older, single women that are older, they probably their behaviors aren't totally indicative of maybe, the stereotypical parent, adult, because they're single and they never, if not because they're divorced or anything, but meaning if they've never been married or never had a kid, you will see that they still possess a childlike kind of mentality. Not to say that you're a kid or you're an adult, meaning just like fun. They do fun things. They want to do, they go to the bar and they hang out with their friends and they do all these things because they can. They have every right to. They have the time to. And it's so awesome. They don't have to spend money on a kid or on a spouse. They spend their own money on themselves and maybe on some friends and family when they want. So much freedom when you're single, and it's such it shapes who you are. And so, here we are, we have a kid, we're like, but we feel like kids and we now have a kid. Holy crap. And you just see yourself, you just watch yourself come to and make decisions that are just like, whoa, I feel like my dad. I feel like my parent, my mom, like I totally sound like my parent. What? Crazy. So Rick and I having a baby, it's awesome. So much more love. It's like love multiplied by infinity. It's ridiculous, you guys. I definitely hope all of this for you, because it's the best feeling. So then once you have a baby, here's the thing, is now this you are not just taking care of yourself, your spouse. You're not, you've learned like to how to organize your schedule. Like, oh, what are you doing today? Are you going to go do this? Okay, yeah, I'll go pick up your dry cleaning. Or, oh yeah, I'll go do this if you need to go do that. Like, those are things that you're doing for each other. Now that a kid is introduced into the mix, you have to take on so much more than you're used to. And it's not like, here's a day or two of having to do everything. It's forever. And it keeps going. And you're just like think of those days when your family your mom says, you need to do this, this, and this. School has you making do homework and this. You've got essays, you've got finals to study for. Oh, you've got practices and blah, blah, blah. Compound it all together, make your busiest day, and you're doing it every single day. And did I mention you're not sleeping either? Every day. You don't get a break. When that happens, when you have a busy day, you might have a busy week. Then it's like, you take a day and you sleep for 12 hours and you're back to yourself again and you can go back to doing what you normally do, which is just this or that or this and that. Your busiest day and no sleep every single day. Now, I don't know about you, but I know how I get when I don't get sleep. I'm in a ball of massive irritation, no patience, and just having, as the mom, just having a kid, just having had the baby, hormones are all over the place. It's real, guys. Baby hormones are real. Like, I could just cry for no reason. Not no reason. Something will happen, and maybe under normal circumstances, in this case, I wouldn't cry about it. But having been, while I was pregnant, or just having a baby in that babyhood time, hormones are so crazy. I will cry, or maybe I'll even get more hostile. Throw all of this into the mix of already both parties not sleeping and having the busiest day of their lives every single day, okay? And housework is starting to take a hit. Bills are starting to take a hit. Time to yourselves are starting to take a hit. And you're just, this stress of life starts to weigh on you you start realizing, oh yeah, the honeymoon phase of just having a baby, it's like, oh gosh, real life is still happening. Like baby feels like a vacation for a second, right? You finally have it and you're like, oh my gosh, it's so amazing. And you're just like, when you go on a vacation, you're super hyped. Maybe you don't sleep on purpose because you're just so hyped. Maybe you're going out and you're having so much fun. And you're hanging out and you're sleeping up, staying awake with your friends and just chatting it up. And then you're waking up early the next day to go do fun things. Who knows? And so, all right. And then in my personal circumstance, I chose to breastfeed. So I am the one that definitely has to cater to the baby all the time. And I never understood the point of having both parties, mom and dad, awake when baby is awake in the middle of the night. Because why have two parents that are dead tired during the day when really the mom is only really needed at night? So this is how we actually figured it out, whether you care or not. But just to throw this out there, a little side tip is I got up, Rick would sleep, I would get up to breastfeed. And then as a newborn, there are techniques you have to use to get the baby to calm down and go back to sleep again. And that would be Rick's turn. I would go to bed, pass baby off to Rick, and he would have to do that. Okay? So that way I could sleep. And then it would just kind of, trade off in certain times. That's a whole different topic, whole different video. Won't talk about that right now. The point is that with all of these things going on, starting to just personally freak and stress out. Your mind is freaking out. Your heart, just so many things going on. And you know how you get when you're stressed out, right? We get crabby. Now, no sleep. Busiest day of your lives every single day. All together, you guys. And now it's not like those are happening over normal days and normal things. Now it's like, for me, I'm constantly doing things with baby. Rick gets to sleep in. I'm up with baby. In the beginning, this is how it was. So I wanted him to sleep in. So that way, after I was done with baby, Rick can then be well rested enough during the day and I could take my naps in the afternoon or whatnot. It definitely works. It definitely helped out. But then it got to a point a little later on that it felt unfair. I started building resentment, to him. Like, he gets to sleep in. I'm the one that's up with the baby all the time. And this is what's going on. And for whatever reason, whatever any husband and wife or a couple decides to do, the resentment starts building up on one side or the other. So what has happened then, the trade-off was Rick was doing the housework. Rick would do housework before. He's not a stranger to it. But all of it, every single time, he was new to that. And he also was doing laundry. So I'm taking care of the baby. Rick's doing laundry. It's just like we're taking on tasks that we're not used to and just being stressed out. Stressed out. Busiest day of our lives every day. No sleep. We're going bonkers. And if you can't just see how all that is a recipe to start breaking a person down, and you know when a person's crabby like that, and you approach them in the kindest way, and they snap at you, right? Now that's a crabby person and a nice person, or a normal person, or a sane person. Now replace the sane person, a happy person, with a like-minded, crazy, stressful, crabby person. Boom. It's like this, okay? And again, you think baby's going to be the answer to your problems? No. What, you think that when you have problems and you come to this point, it's going to be good? Oh no, it's so not going to be good. And that's what pisses me off, because if you're married and you think a baby is your solution, I feel terrible saying this out loud, but I guarantee you a lot of those relationships end up in divorce. And then I get mad at that because you brought another life into the mix. You brought another life into your selfishness. And now this life has to suffer because you thought this was going to be your answer. It's not. You need to have a solid foundation. What's up, Train? What's up, DJ? What's up, Stream? So this is coming from Rick and I having a solid foundation, and these obstacles we came up to were just so much because I'm having to deal with them under the immense weight of all of these hormones just going bonkers in my body, making everything a bigger deal than they really are. Still a big deal, but my hormones are making them out to be like an episode of Grey's Anatomy or something. And so there was a lot of fighting, a lot of crying. Our fights a lot would happen. Like Rick wouldn't want to, again, going back to him being a passive person, he wouldn't want to bring it up to me, especially because he sees that I'm slaving away with our baby. I'm not sleeping, and, you know, all these things. But he's getting upset inside. Like, you can't do that. You cannot not say anything out loud. It will eat you alive, and then all it's going to do is explode. It's going to be this resentment barf all over everyone, and we're all going to feel the disgust of it. The explosion. It's gonna be gross. No one likes to be barfed on. And so how does that situation look? Terrible, of course. So this is what's going on. He has such a reason behind it. You know, he doesn't want to upset me. It makes sense. But there is a way to address things, folks. If you're upset about something, don't come to your significant other griping about it. That's terrible, and that's childish. It's wah, wah, wah is what that sounds like. You need to come to, again, I'm not saying this was Rick at all. This wasn't Rick. Rick wouldn't tell me anything. But I would try to tell him, because you think when you're trying to address something you're upset about that it has to come out in a nagging manner or a griping manner, and it doesn't have to. Let's go back to the toilet seat analogy. Hey, babe, the toilet seat's up again. Can you please put it down? Can you not forget this time? Please, I love you. Quit being a butthead. Quit forgetting, you know. Knock him on the forehead or something and be like, hello, can you remember, please? Because I fell into the toilet last time. Yes, I know I need to look, too. That's on me. But can you just put it down, please? This is going back to the stupid toilet seat thing, right? It's not a big deal. But there's ways to address it. So this is how it would go. So, oh my gosh, you guys, just like this, up and down. You talk about it and it's all good. Then it just continues. Again, Rick is doing all the housework. Rick's doing all the laundry. My freaking nipples are being freaking breastfed raped. And like, it was just so much. And this is coming from two parents that don't have 9-to-5 jobs either. Like, I couldn't even imagine. Throw that into the mix. Holy cow. Like, I totally feel for those parents, because it's so much. Rick and I are freelance, so I was able to take some jobs here and there while after having the baby, and Rick, you know, was able to go and work, and so because I had to stay home and, you know, breastfeed the baby. But man, the people that have to go to 9-to-5, especially after 3 months, 3 months is so not enough. I think 6 months is minimum for maternity leave. They should do 6 months minimum, or do they? Because I'd say even all the way up to 9 months, I'd say if it was a perfect world, the first year is so crucial in setting your kid up for future behavior, you know, and how they are going to deal with that. The first year is so crucial in building the foundation of your kid, and then to leave that in the hands of strangers. Oh man, I feel for those parents that have no choice. They have to do that. So yeah, that's what it's been like. We decided once we got to a point with Alex, I don't know if it was like 6 months or so. Okay, that's loud. Eli. Hey. Napoleon Complex. He's like 4.5 pounds. This is my smallest dog, but he is the loudest. Hey, you're not going to do anything over there. All 6 inches in height you are. So communicating. Gosh darn it. How many times do I have to say communication is key in any relationship? Friendship, lovers, family. You want this to go down well, you need to communicate. This is where my bluntness comes back into play. That I discussed earlier. I can't let it go. I have to bring it up. Now, this was also in itself its own argument. I brought up everything and Rick didn't. He saw it as going with the flow more. Like he wasn't being as nitpicky. But no. He really was. Just because he wasn't saying it out loud doesn't mean he wasn't being nitpicky, because inside his heart, it was tearing him up. It was pissing him off. And slowly, by every bit and every situation, every circumstance, it was compiling into that little bitter piece of his heart. And it was affecting him. The only way you can say that something doesn't bother you, that you're just letting it slide, is when it legit, you're not even thinking about it anymore. When you will never in the future say, and in future arguments say, oh, when you did this thing that one time, I thought you said that didn't bother you. That clearly bothers you. For you to bring it up in a future argument, it bothered you, right? You have to talk about things. I've had to learn how to talk about things because I have like diarrhea at the mouth and I'm like, talk about it. I think and I speak. And I've had to learn to think a little longer before I speak. And it has helped. It's helped. And then tone comes into play very, very much. Excuse me. So just crazy, just bonkers. It's made us stronger for sure. However, the current hiccup is the lie, I'll call it, the big lie. And so from here to then why I'm sharing this as well with you guys, not only to explain what's been going on with my channel and why things have gotten behind, why you didn't get very many videos last week, is because this all began, the lie, December, okay? Late December, around Christmas time. And it has been going like this ever since. And I have been more firm with Rick. I've had very little room for compromise with him since. And we need help. Rick has a lot on his plate, a lot of things that he's built up from not speaking about it, or maybe he's come to find that he doesn't know how to eloquently explain it to where I understand. So, and then for me, I explain things and he understands me. And so I'm able to get my point across to him, and he, will say he understands, and, the behavioral thing is a whole nother issue on how it's handled. But, yeah. So we're in this rut. We're stuck. And my heart is already kind of from the lie. So we're in a deficit when we're trying to get our marriage back in sync again post baby. I'm super thankful that Rick and I are on the same page as far as how we want to raise Alex, what like the discipline or the how we choose to handle circumstances that come. The intricacies behind that we both agree on. I can imagine, I know there are parents out there that don't agree. And so you have two parents doing two different things to the one kid. And this is where I think we'll see how Alex does when she's in her terrible twos. I think this is what makes the terrible twos really terrible. I don't doubt that Alex will have her share of what the terrible twos are going to be, which is she's understanding that she has a say in things, and her will, like her making decisions on her own kind of starts coming into play. So we'll see. But the kid that is not getting consistent parenting, and I don't use that word parenting as a high and mighty thing at all. Parenting is just that. It's the way that you choose to speak to your kids, handle the day by day. How do you handle a sad thing? How do you handle an angry thing? How do you handle a mad thing? How do you handle a happy thing? Did I already say happy? But how you handle your behavior. And so if both parties aren't on the same page, man, I could totally see how this one kid and toddler is like, you don't even have it straight. I'm just going to feel it out, I guess, because you said this, I don't know what's up. I'm just going to do it all. So I can totally see how there's maybe that aids in the terrible twos, which I hear are now really more into the terrible threes. So we shall see. The point is, here is the point. Here is where we're rounding it all out. This whole me blabbing away for the last, how long has it been? Almost an hour. Is to say, Rick and I are going to be going through some counseling, marriage counseling, to try to find that groove again. We have a lot of things that are built up from just since having the baby, and just because my hormones have been off, and I only just recently, the last couple months, stopped breastfeeding. So until you stop breastfeeding, your hormones are still off. And then even when you're done breastfeeding, it takes a little bit for your hormones to round back out, to like stabilize, if you will, be normal level. I want to say that by now I probably am back to my normal self, as close to it anyway. But I want to go through this with you guys because this is a very real thing in life. Marriages, this is what happens in marriage. I will not kid you and say that the divorce word has not ever come up, because it had in the heat of, the passion of the argument and everything. You just really think you want to give up. You think that it's easier, to just say, screw it. I can't handle you. Clearly you can't handle me, and we're not happy. So we're supposed to separate. That's what's supposed to happen. And people bail because they're weak, or people bail because their partner is unwilling to want to work things out. I mean, there's just so many scenarios, you guys, like just ranging from the sad to bad. And this is coming from Rick and I as a couple. That I proudly say that we have a very great marriage. Love, I guess more so. Our love is super strong, runs super deep. Our love is so real. We have the utmost love and respect for each other, and we're suffering. This is what happens. Have a baby, and you've never had I've never raised a kid before. I've never had a baby. I don't know what it's like. Even if I were to be a babysitter or nanny or whatever, I would know more about babies. But that doesn't make me an expert on marriage after baby. So we love each other so much that, okay, it's like one of those things, right? Where have you ever, whoever it is, your friend, family member, significant other, your lover, you tell them something over and over again, right? You're like, no, this is right. This is right. What I'm saying is right. And they're like, no, blah, 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 or I don't agree with you. It takes a third party to come in and say, this is what it is. This is right. And whoever was right, it's like, okay, no, that's bad. I explained that terribly. Okay, we're talking about one stupid thing. Like, the color of your snot is what... That was in my head because my snot has been a gnarly green all week. The color of your snot tells you what kind of sick you are. No, it doesn't. Yes, it does. It means this. No, it doesn't. It doesn't mean anything. All it means is X, Y, and Z. You don't believe each other. It takes, like, say, my friend, I'm the one that says, no, it doesn't mean anything specific. My friend, or even their friend, hops into the conversation later and they're like, what? It's not? Oh yeah, no, it totally doesn't dictate like what sickness you have. It doesn't tell you anything. And then it's real, right? Then it's like, oh, well, geez. But you didn't want to believe each other because you are on your own. Like, you already have this bias because you're always with each other. You always argue with each other, that you have to have a third party to come in and say what is right or what they think, right? And then it's like, oh, then it becomes more of the truth. It's not because your lover said it or whoever, but because a third party said it that's impartial to your relationship. So I think that's kind of why counseling helps too, is just to get a little bit of reassurance on on one way or the other, to say, you know, like, yeah, this, or no, that. And then you're like, oh, okay, I guess you were right. Also, a fresh set of ears, fresh set of eyes, a fresh heart, fresh mind on the matter. So, yeah, that's what we have to do. Because Rick needs to be able to explain his boy gibberish to somebody who can then decipher his boy gibberish to me. And then vice versa. My girl gibberish into man gibberish. So, I'll keep you guys updated on how that is going, how that goes. But like I said, our specific circumstances are tweaked a little bit due to the big lie, which I wouldn't say is far off from anyone else having to find something out random, whatever, that bothers them to the point of just throwing your heart off kilter and not knowing what is this life? So, wish us luck, guys. Ha, thanks, DJ. My birthday's in 2 days. Crazy! And yeah, I'll keep you guys updated because I want to share with you like on our progress and what we come to find and all that. So I guess I know, I think my church has some references on some counselors. So not the church themselves do counseling. I think they do have persons that you can speak to, but they also have references to outside, like actual counselors that could counsel our marriage and help us to get through. Rick and I are having some sort of language rut. I'm not understanding him. He is not understanding me. Though we mean well. We want the best for each other. We want the best for us. We want the best for Alex. But for some reason, we're having this. There's a roadblock, and we're having a difficult time getting through the roadblock and clearing it up, so that we can continue to find our groove. So that's where we're at right now. And that is what's really, really put my production behind on YouTube. And then getting sick. And this is the second time I've been sick since the fight in December. So the fight me being really sad, getting sick, other stuff coming into play, getting sick again. It's like everything just slowly getting back and back and back and back. So I'm literally strapped again. I'm back to square one, almost -1 with my YouTube. So I'm so sorry, guys. I hope that you will bear with me with my channel. I apologize for any hiccups on uploads. But that's what's going on. Oh, and then to top it off, you guys, we have to move. So we're looking at houses now. Oh, and it's tax season, guys. I have to do taxes. Hello? Could there be anything more on our plate? Anything more? No, I'm just kidding. Please don't put anything else on my plate. Please. Ah! So there's that. Awesome. But, yeah. Again, I thought a lot about if I wanted to talk about this or not. And I wanted to because it's educational in that we all go through this. It happens. You're not alone. You're not weird. Your relationship doesn't suck because these things are happening. It is life. It happens. With anything, you come to a crossroads. You know, things are going good and, you know, maybe you got your paths somewhat parallel, but they're like, there's a slight bend to it. So eventually you're gonna collide about something. Shit's gonna go down. And it happens. And there's nothing wrong with having someone who cares, you know, finding the right people to listen. And that could even just be another couple that you respect. You know, that could be a step too, to like talk with them in a very open way, in a non-judgmental way. Just if you can put all the bitterness aside and just talk about the facts, that's how you get things done. You can't talk about the, you did this, you did that, you did this, you did that. It's about the behavior and what do you want to happen from this point forward? Where do you want this to go? So yeah, there's that. I was ranting. I heard all of your faces. Thank you guys so much for listening. Again, please have patience with me on my channel. I'm going to try to just like log up some hours back at editing. So much. Dang it. Taxes are due soon and I haven't even done it yet. We're 1099, so we have a lot of paperwork. Oh, wow. That was oregano oil. Yep. Where is this burp coming from? Shoot. It's pretty epic, and it came at the right time. I keep doing this. And it's pretty annoying. Let's see what the chat had to say. What's up, Jojo? Bye. Move to Denmark. Taxes are basically done automatically here if you have a steady job, and we don't. I love the way you talk about things. Thanks, Crystalline. I heart your face, you guys. Matt says thanks for being so open and honest. Yes, of course. Thanks, Emily, for the get well wishes. And yeah, you guys are rad. I want to get back to streaming again because I'm still raising money for my friend Kaylee. She doesn't know that I'm doing this. And when I started, I only was able to do one stream, and then I got really behind and had to pack and leave for PAX, and that was an ordeal. And then I came home being sick, so I haven't been able to stream all week. But you can always click the donation button on my channel here on the upper right corner. I believe, yeah, it says donate for the funds. But any funds that I receive will go 100% to Kaylee, which I'll vlog about as it goes down. Or you can watch a live stream at twitch.tv/IamLucyMay. And there'll be donation links there. And your name, and you can make a little comment. It'll pop up on the screen, which it'll still pop up on the screen right now if you do one. I have it set that way in case you wanted to donate. But it's all for Kaylee. And if you can hashtag care for Kaylee, KAYLEE, then in your comment, then I'll know too, because I'm giving away, like, I collected a whole buttload of stuff from PAX East for people that donate $10 or more. And I think I have little small enough items to be able to send internationally if necessary. So we'll do it for international donors as well. Yes. You have a lot on your plate, and I hope you get through this. I just gave up on my relationship and noticed that I was doing selfish things. War hero. Yeah, I mean, it's all learning experience. And before you get married is a time to experiment with yourself, how you deal with things, how you choose to deal with issues. What do you need to have in a significant other? That's like, for me, like, I was able to see the things that I could compromise on, and things that I knew that I could not ever compromise on. Otherwise, in the end, I would be kidding myself, and I would end up having a divorce. And nobody wants to divorce. You don't get married with the intention of, I'm gonna divorce you later. We get married because we want to be with them forever, and it can be forever. Just make sure you are 100% about this person, and this person's 100% about you. There's no reason that it can't work. So there was something. Oh. One thing that's always stuck with me ever since I heard it was, it's not about how well you get along. It's about how well you deal with conflict, how well you resolve conflict. So if you're that type that screams and points the finger at the other person, and they're the bad person, and you just scream and you don't want to talk about it, that's probably not the person you want to be with. Because if you love them so wholeheartedly, like for real, you feel terrible about doing that. You're going to yell. It's going to happen. When you're angry, shit happens when you're angry. But how you close it all out, how you round it out in the end is what is indicative of if a relationship will survive. So always remember that, because that has helped me throughout my life. And yeah, seriously, cats fighting outside my house over lemonade. That's awesome. Lemonade sounds so good right now. Is that bad for my throat? I need lemon though, right? Or no? Oh well. Anyways, you guys are awesome. Thanks so much. Again, I don't have many times. I have a hard time saying bye. I just have a hard time saying goodbye and going away. And what is today? Today is a Monday. Gosh, I may or may not stream tonight. I don't know. If you're following me on Twitter at twitter.com/LisaMalambri, then you will know. Or if you're following my stream, you will know. I heart all your faces. I just gotta end this right now. I just gotta go, guys. I just gotta go. It's like one of those things where it's like, okay, you hang up. No, you hang up. You hang up first. No, you hang up first. No, you hang up first. All right, here we go.